Howdy folks, I decided to satiate my curiosity about these closeout Staples George Foreman grills, or should I say clearance anyways. This is a removable plates Next Grilleration George Foreman grill for $40. These things start at 50 something. So what I decided to do is just do a quick video documenting when I got this thing and when I started using it, so we can actually have a timetable on how long these things last. Because the last time I bought a new George Foreman grill, I didn't really document it, so I kind of just winged it and said, a couple of years. But anyways, let's get this thing out of the box and let's set it up and let's see what we can do with it. Yup, as predicted. It's pretty straightforward. You have some plates that can come off and then you can rinse them in the sink or something like that. Probably can fit 2 burgers on this thing. I've been buying larger beef patties that shrink down quite a bit when the fat burns off of them, so to speak. I don't need anything too exciting. I'm only cooking a little bit of meat on these things anyways. So we'll take this for a test drive and have this ready to put the grill plates in the, well, under the running water anyways to wash them off. That's what was missing the last go around. So I'm mostly doing this to document how long this thing lasts. So I've got a video right now. I got a video right now when I've received it and never used it before, and I'm about to use it for the first time. And then we'll see how long we can go before the Teflon starts to flake on this one. But I guess the bigger problem is not that this is prohibitively expensive, but like I said last time, the microwave and the Sunbeam Hot Shot have lasted longer than any of these have. So it's just sad that these have the worst longevity when it comes to these things. But alright, so let's go take this out to the kitchen, take old Sticky out of there, because the thing keeps destroying burgers even though it's bigger and has heat controls. Let's take it for a test drive. I predict it's like a fatter version of the sub $20 one you see in the Targets and whatnot, where basically it burns the outside and then that's basically it. But it just has to cook meat, and that's pretty much it. And I'll see if I can find a better solution for this by the time this thing's finally starting to get sticky. Okay, maiden voyage time, and one of the things that's going to be different about this is I'm going to be using the kilowatt just to see what kind of power this draws while this is being used. And of course, fingerprint magnet-PlayStation 3 design, of course. No plastic spatula thing with this one, unlike every other one of these that I've ever owned. That's different. Of course, maybe, you know, there's non-scratch utensils and spatulas out nowadays, so that might be why there isn't one. So let's get this thing plugged in here. I hope there isn't any styrofoam still in this thing. I picked out all the remaining bits that were in there, otherwise it's going to melt and stink up the kitchen. Alright, maiden voyage time. Hope it doesn't pop the breakers. 266, 967. So it looks like it's roughly a 1,000-watt device-ish when it's running. So let me guess, that little light goes out when it's heated up. Yep, it's roughly a 1,000-watt device. Let's get the burgers ready. Definitely has the smell of a new George Foreman grill when it's heated up for the first time and stuff from the factory burns off and all that lovely stuff. So this is a plugged-in light rather than a thermostat light. It did click, so we'll probably hear it click again to turn the heat back on later on. I also ditched the kilowatt because we know it's 1,000 watts when it's running. This thing has no temperature control, so I'm sure it's just 1,000 when it's on and nothing when it's off until it gets too cool. Definitely some heat going on there, though. Let's see, I bet we can fit 2 burgers on here. Well, 2 burgers when they first start. I'm sure that these cheap burgers will probably shrink down quite a bit. Non-stick coating, it's not recommended to spray oils or things like olive oil on there because it creates a gummy residue, so we'll see how long the George Tough Teflon coating lasts. And now I get to cook both sides of the burgers at once. That thing is humming away right off the bat. I predict that this runs full blast and it cooks things a little too much on the outside, but it takes a while for the inside to finish up. Kind of like the when I first started buying these things back in the earlier days. Oh wait, did that light just change? Okay, maybe it's one side of the light lights up when it's heating, and then the other side of the light lights up when it's plugged in. Interesting. Well, we'll see how it does. It's definitely smaller than the George Foreman grill that it replaced. It doesn't have anywhere near as many bells and whistles, but all it needs to do is cook either burgers, chicken, or fish. Nothing exciting. So, Alright, let's see how it does. As usual, these things spit quite a bit of steam. It's almost like cooking popcorn, whereas you can tell if the thing of popcorn is finishing up when the popping slows down. When you're cooking burgers on these things, you know you're almost done when the hissing starts to die down. If it dies down too much, you're in trouble, and you probably have something resembling beef jerky, but let's just keep seeing how this works here. Now this would destroy burgers on the old grill. They don't on this one. We can see the grease dripping into that pan just like it's supposed to. Whoa, that's not pink anymore. That's pretty quick. I'm sure the outside will cook a lot faster than the inside will. Question remains what to do with the drip pan from the old one once I finish cleaning it, of course. I can start to smell the meat in the living room. Let's see if this traditional way of knowing when food is done works here. Ah, yes, that looks pretty nice. Probably a little overdone. We're not going to put anything on these, but yeah, you can see the grease on these things. Let's just pull the plug on this. Yep. Alright, this is going to be a pain in the neck. So let's get a tripod, put it near the sink, and then let's do what we wanted to do with these darn things. So, yay, actually first, little taste test here. Ah, I dried them out. Never mind. Yep. Cooked properly, but the outside's dried up. Oops. Yeah. I think, though, that the only way we're going to get the sink footage is to grab the tripod. Okay, and now the reason why I bought this thing. Take the plate off the grill. Take the plate off the grill. You can see all the grease that's on there. Now, alright, I suppose the rest of it will sponge off. Not all the grease is coming off. Oh, it's so easy to clean! Alright, no soap yet. We're not using any soap, but we're also not using anything abrasive. Sponge off the rest of it. Will it sponge? That is the question. Ah, I got water going everywhere. Let's cool off the other side now that it's out of the grill. Not even using any dish soap yet. Just seeing if the grease will come off by itself. I'm actually very disappointed that the grease even stuck to it. Well, by the way, we're using cold water. Probably should use hot water for this. It's supposed to be freezing cold tonight, darn it. Alright. Alright, that looks good as new. We'll just let it dry off. Yep, no more grease. Okay, let's let that dry off somewhere. Put it back on. That was with no soap, by the way. Ah, there goes the grill tray. Next bunch. So yeah, you do need a minimum of a sponge to get that kind of grease off. You do need to sponge off the rest of the grease, but the big thing is I don't want to use anything abrasive. Now, it'd be nice if folks could actually see this. Switch back to cold water, because now we're getting steam going everywhere. Not to be confused with the video game thingy. Yep. Yep, there's definitely grease that came off on the sponge. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say that that's okay. Just use something non-abrasive. We'll see how long this coating lasts. Probably use some actual dish soap next time. But I usually cook the same things over and over again on these things anyway, so... Alright. Let's put everything back together. There we go. Just has some water on it. A couple of spots where the grease was, but bit of a pain in the neck putting the plates back on when it's still hot out. Especially the top plate when it's up like this. But we'll see how it dries and see how this works compared to letting it sit between uses too long. There's one more thing I want to do, though, before closing out this quick video. Let's see what kind of a difference the temperature control made on the old one. Oh, and it's already making quite a bit of a difference. On low mode, 1300 watts. Crank it up to high. Nope, 1300 watts. So, that only kicked off the thermostat at the temperature that it was supposed to be at. Otherwise, it sucked 1300 watts. Okay, let's unplug this pig. Wow! So this cheapo thing actually uses less power to run its thermostat than that thing does. Maybe that doesn't heat up as... Here I was thinking I was controlling the temperature of the food with the so-called temperature control, but it was controlling the temperature by kicking the thing on and off, basically. That's really it. And it was 1300 watts when it was heating up versus around 1000 on that one. Next grilleration? Well, it's definitely greener anyways. Glad I could figure out, glad I could satiate my curiosity on this once and for all. Right, this thing's good to go, and the fact that it uses less power when it's heating up is good to know. Okay, I do believe my supper is getting cold, so, yeah, quick O-flick it is. MultimediaJay out.